Okay, y'all, Monday night, it's 9:02, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Diamond Ducks Monday Night Team Training. Larissa and I have been working on doing a purpose-driven prospecting challenge for you guys. For those of you that are familiar with Bob Heilig or have been listening to a lot of the stuff that we've been doing, we are taking a lot of direction from him right now, and he talks a lot about being system dependent versus people dependent. So we're working really hard on creating some systems and some challenges for you guys that are super easy to follow. They're very duplicatable. And then you can begin initiating them with yourselves, or if you have a team, then you can begin doing that and carrying it out to your team. So what we're doing today is we are going to start a purpose-driven prospecting challenge. Now, first of all, if you're on the Legacy Leadership or you're following Bob Heilig, a lot of this information, if you've done this with him before, is going to sound super familiar because we're taking the template from him. Excuse me, y'all, I'm losing my voice. Hot tea and honey works though, right? So we're taking a lot of information from Bob Heilig, working through that. And so we're going to be bringing a 30-day purpose-driven prospecting challenge to you guys. Now, that being said, we are going to break down this challenge into more than one segment. If you actually go watch the purpose-driven challenge from Bob Heilig, you're going to see this entire training within an hour, hour and 5 minutes, something like that, and they're going to roll that out and initiate that. Well, obviously, we're not anywhere near the level of Bob Heilig, so we're going to be breaking this down for you guys and putting it into smaller segments. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys because I did create a PowerPoint for y'all. And if somebody that has my cell phone number can text me and let me know that you can see the slideshow, that would be awesome. Is the first time that I've done this training, but if y'all could chat or text and let me know you can see the slideshow, I will get going. I am going to be reading from some notes, so just ignore that. Can y'all still see the slideshow? Anybody? Carmen, can I get a thumbs up if you can see it? Because I can see you. Awesome. Okay, so here we go, y'all. Here it is. I know you guys have been waiting on this for a little while. We were supposed to do it last Monday night, but poor sweet Tinley ended up in the emergency room, and we just didn't have everything. PowerPoint is not my friend. We did not have everything ready to go by then. So go back. I'm just learning PowerPoint, y'all, so bear with me. All right, so here we go. Here it is. The moment you guys have been waiting for. I truly, truly believe that for a lot of you guys, this is going to be a complete game changer for you in your business, y'all. This is something that Larissa and I have been working on, and we want to bring the information that we've learned to you guys. So what we want or hope that you will learn tonight is, first of all, how to overcome your fear of prospecting and have more confidence when you're sharing the business opportunity or the products of Plexus. We want to help you overcome the fear of talking to people. Secondly, we want to help you finally start building a team if you haven't already. But if you do have a team, we truly want to help you create a downline, which is super, super important for those of you that have been in the business for a little while. You understand attrition, you understand how that works, and you have to truly be system dependent. People have to be able to function without you. As bad as it sounds, our goal is to create the ability for you to be independent as quickly as possible. So to have systems that you can duplicate in your downline to allow you that freedom and that independence is something that we want to help you do. Because if you're working 24/7 and you're constantly answering messages and you're constantly doing X, Y, and Z, your team's like, whoa, hold on, I don't want any part of that. My goal is to maybe have freedom, and she doesn't have any because she's tethered to her phone all the time. So we want to help you start building that team and then creating duplication in your downline. Some of the other things that you guys may be struggling with that we want to help you with is how when you may be sharing the potential opportunity or products, how you can make instant and meaningful connections with your potentials. And how many times have you guys felt frustrated? Like, not just make a decision. We're going to hopefully help you guys get people off the fence and inspire them to take action. And so we're going to hopefully give you guys some tips and tricks to be able to do that. And like I said, if you don't have a team, we're going to hopefully help you start building one. And if you do, we're going to help you motivate the existing team that you do have. So in this training, we hope that you will learn a much more powerful way to prospect, and just, y'all, really, it's super, super simple. Three-step system that's going to help you 10x the results of your business. And it doesn't matter what level you are. It doesn't matter if you're brand new or if you have 700 people on your team. What you're going to be learning, or what we're hoping to teach you guys, is going to be what we hope to be an absolute game changer for you and your business. So one of the things that's going to make this challenge even more powerful is that we're going to be able to move you guys into massive action. But what's more important than that, experience the power of what it feels like to go through this process with an entire group of people, with continuing and ongoing training and support, and what that truly means and can look like for your business. Sorry, y'all, I told you I was losing my voice, so bear with me. I'm going to get through this, I promise. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about Roger Bannister. Some of you guys may have heard of him. Some of you may not have. I had to go and find this picture on the internet like 17 times, because when I was watching the Bob Heilig training, he actually said Roger Maris. So when I started searching Roger Maris pictures, I'm like, that's not him. So I had to go back and re-listen, and he corrected himself. So I want to talk to you about the story of Roger Bannister, not the story of Roger Maris, just in case you want to know. But before we get into that, I want you guys to understand that as a leader, you bear great responsibility in terms of the way that your team shows up. So many times, y'all, it's so easy to blame teams or our downline when things aren't going the way that we want them to go. But we lose sight of the fact that we play a major role in the way our teams grow. So just to circle that back around to the story of Roger Bannister, if you're not muted, if you could mute yourself, that'd be great. I'm hearing a little bit of background noise. So Roger Bannister, for those of you that don't know, this was a new story for me, so maybe y'all know it, maybe don't. He was the very first person to ever run the 4-minute mile. But prior to him running that, it was pretty much thought and accepted that it was literally impossible, y'all, for a human being to be able to break a 4-minute barrier in the mile. People just accepted the fact that that was impossible. There were thousands of years prior to him breaking this record that nobody was able to do it. They did study after study. They looked at motion and science and physics and all that. And what they came up with was the conclusion that until Roger Bannister, it was impossible. And if you go back and you do a little bit of research about Roger Bannister, his story actually is really, really powerful. But I'm just going to give you guys the abbreviated version, the Cliff Notes. But he ran the 4-minute mile. He broke the 4-minute barrier, and he did what pretty much everybody in the world prior to him doing it thought was impossible. And what happened that was so powerful after that is within 1 year, y'all, 1 year of Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile, literally, y'all, over 1,000 people then accomplished the same exact goal that was widely understood to be impossible. So I'm going to, excuse me. So here's what I'm going to ask you guys. What do you think changed? What do you think was different after he did it? I personally think it's simple. One person made one decision, put in the hard work, the effort, and the preparation, and actually believed that he could accomplish that no one else thought he could. And he did it, y'all. He did it. That one person doing it literally showed the rest of the world it was possible. And you're probably wondering, why am I telling you this story about this, this 4-minute mile runner? I'm sharing it with you because I think, and sorry, y'all, promise I'm not going to lose my voice. I want each and every single one of you guys on here to do for the next 30 days, and our challenge will probably last a little bit longer because, like I said, I'm going to break it up. It's not going to be quite as intense as Bob Heilig, but I want you to start running the 4-minute mile for your team. And I'm going to be honest, y'all, I'm going to shoot you straight. When is the last time and this goes for me too. I'm not by any means preaching to the choir. I'm holding myself just as accountable. When is the last time you reached an accomplishment in your business? A great milestone, rank advanced, won a contest. We just finished the convention contest. When is the last time the team saw you out there accomplishing something great? And again, I'm holding myself just as accountable. See, when we get away from that, y'all, and we get complacent and inertia sets in, we're not showing our team that it's possible to continue to grow or achieve our dreams or reach the next rank. And it sets such a bad example, y'all. If they stop seeing us ranking and moving and reaching our dreams and goals, it has a dangerous psychological effect on your team. Every single one of you on this call can change that, y'all. I believe in you. And if you don't believe in yourself, call me and you can borrow my belief in you, because I know that you can. But you have to get out and set the example. And so we're hoping that with this training and bringing you guys some ongoing support, that we're going to be able to help you do that. So the challenge itself was designed to get you basically into massive action and to find basically a whole new wave of excited people that can completely reinvigorate your business, help you create crazy momentum, hopefully make this the best year you've ever had. 2018, y'all, has already been amazing for Diamond Ducks, but I am amazed at what I see and the potential that I see for our team. But remember, sometimes we got to get a little bit selfish, and we got to get out of management mode and remember that the best thing that we can do for our teams is to go out and hit those big goals and let them follow suit. So I want to start this training by instilling this mentality in all of you, and I want you guys to go run the 4-minute mile with your teams. So one of the biggest reasons why people struggle in their network marketing business, and I use that as a generic term because I know that there are multiple people on our team that do more than just Plexus. Whether it's LuLaRoe or Redan & Fields, we're not even going to get into the whole compliance thing and all that. But one of the biggest reasons that people struggle in network marketing is they rely too much on something called the success mindset. So like I told you guys in the beginning, a lot of Bob Heilig material, we're using a lot of things that can be duplicatable. But when he created this program, he truly believed that this would help people be successful. More than anything, shifting your mindset. So what is success mindset? I mean, I never even heard that term before. I'm from corporate medical America. Like, what the heck is a success mindset, right, y'all? But this is when you're focusing solely on things like, how much money do you want to make in your business? We set success goals all the time, whether it's in life or in work or whatever it is. I want to make this much money. I want to hit this rank. I want to buy this. I want to get these material possessions. But it's really just about you. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. But if that's the only motivation that you have for continuing to grow your business, you're going to struggle, y'all. You are. It just is what it is. You have got to find something more meaningful and deeper that's going to drive you in your business, especially, y'all, to get you through tough times, to overcome your fears. And here's why it's tough. Really, success will lead you to happiness. It will. But that's not enough. It doesn't last. You're not waking up today fired up about the rank advancement you had 6 months ago or the bonus check you got 3 months ago. If there's not something more meaningful or deeper, it won't last. So here's a couple of things that we're going to try to teach you in this process. We're going to talk about the mindset of significance and making that shift. So inside the Bob Heilig Legacy Leadership Academy, which is where Larissa and I are getting a lot of our information, one of the true core fundamental principles that they teach is making this shift to go from a success mindset to a significance mindset. And one of the things that he talked about at the Impact Leadership Summit was you need to get away from making $1 million and focus on changing 1 million lives. And that is where the shift from success to significance. In order to adopt the mindset of significance, you have to step back and remember, like I said just a few minutes ago, success is about you. Significance is about other people. So when we talk about the mindset of significance, it really is to get you started looking at your Plexus business. First and foremost, y'all, I can't say this loudly enough, as a way to positively impact the world and the lives of other people. It is a way to live out your unique purpose, not your sideline sisters, not your upline sisters, your unique purpose. And what you realize along the way is that your business is the greatest vehicle you will ever have in your life to create this legacy. See, success will lead to happiness, but significance, like I said earlier, will lead to fulfillment. And quite frankly, fulfillment is really the key to long-term success, because if you can start feeling more fulfilled by the work that you're doing every day, that's going to give you the fuel to get through the tough times and create the results you're looking for. We talk about the emotional roller coaster all the time, y'all, the highs and lows. Yay, my best friend just signed. She's my rock star. I'm going diamond. I got this. Oh, crap. My customer just fell off and they want a refund. That emotional roller coaster is going to be there. Y'all have heard us talk about this and train on this multiple times. Put your blinders on and move forward. Because if you can start feeling fulfilled by the work that you're doing, when those bad times come and those downtime comes and the back office isn't working and you can't get your stuff to upload and your person doesn't want to get off the fence, that fulfillment is what is going to give you the fuel to get through those times. So let's talk about the legacy leadership philosophy. And I totally stole this graphic from Bob Pilot, so y'all don't turn me in for copyright infringement. I'm just saying I totally stole it. It's a completely different mindset for building a network marketing business. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're in Plexus or whatever it is. This is where purpose-driven prospecting actually comes from. And if you look at the slide, you'll see it's based on the law of reciprocity. So basically what the law of reciprocity says is the more you give in your business and life, the more you're going to get in return. So the problem is basically the opposite of success mindset, which says, hey, let me see what I can get before I give anything. And that's not a mindset that's going to serve you well at all. So leaders, in our opinion, legacy leaders, lead with giving. We give our time, our knowledge. We give and understand the more that we impact people, the more impact we make in the world, the more that we get and the more fulfilled we are. There is a direct correlation, y'all. The more impact you make, the more results that you see. And it's a very powerful kind of circle that happens. This thing that we really, are looking at and want to help instill in you. We're going to do our best by teaching you with this purpose-driven prospecting approach how to start setting what we call impact goals in your business and teach you to lead with giving and what that means, what that looks like. And here's the magical thing that's going to happen. When you lead with giving and you lead with impact, you make that a part of what you do every day, and you will start getting a level of momentum that you have never experienced before, not only in your business, but in your life. So let's talk about purpose-driven prospecting. Like, what is it? So this is a totally different way to share our products and opportunity with people, y'all. It's going to help you do some important things, some of the things we talked about earlier, but it's going to help you overcome your fear of reaching out and give you more confidence when you're sharing things with potentials. It's going to help you make the connections and make you feel so much more authentic and genuine when you're actually talking to people. So if you feel better about what you're going to say when you're reaching out to people, you're going to be way more likely to actually do it and reach out to people. So told y'all PowerPoint's not my friend. So instead of being able to pop these little bubbles up, they're all there. So we're just going to talk about it all at once. So here's how purpose-driven prospecting works. It's based on a pretty simple philosophy. Excuse me, y'all. Most people that have experienced network marketing or currently do network marketing, they prospect people. And they spend all their time talking, and I'll say they, I'm going to say we because I've done it too. We spend all our time talking about what we do and how we're better. Whether it's I sell skincare or weight loss or health and nutrition products or this or that or whatever. And here's how we're different and here's how we're better. We're different and better because we have this ingredient or that ingredient, or we're non-toxic, or because such and such people founded our company, or we have X, Y, and Z study, or whatever, y'all. I don't care what it is, make it up. It's all the same thing. But what and how are features and benefits. And those two things do not inspire people to take action, nor do they distinguish us from any competition out there that at least that's truly meaningful. Is we're struggling to get people to say yes and move to action, because when we're talking about features and benefits, we're communicating to people on a logical level. And the problem is human beings are not logical. We talked about this in our training, our mindset training a few weeks ago. Oh gosh, my battery's going low. I'm gonna have to get a charger. we're emotional beings. We do not make decisions logically. We make them emotionally. I mean, how many of you guys have been sitting at home on Amazon at 10 o'clock at night and you have this wonderful little advertisement and it's a nice warm fuzzy and you make a splurge purchase, if you will, because of what you thought that might make you feel like? You know, I think mostly girls are on here. Maybe you see that sexy shirt or that bra or that tank top or whatever. You're not making that purchase because it's logical when you need it. It's emotional and how it makes you feel. So if we truly want to be successful in inspiring people to say yes and moving them towards action, we have to learn to connect on an emotional level. So how do you do that? Y'all are going to have to pause a second. So just ponder that for a moment. I'll be right back.
I'm a sucker for those Groupon things.
I'm back. Can you hear me? I'm totally sorry I dropped my earbuds on the floor and y'all probably heard that. But so back to what I was saying, talking about I heard the very tail end of like sucker for being a Groupon, but we have to connect with people on an emotional level. So how do you do that? Purpose-driven prospecting. And here's what it is. So before you share with them what you do and how you're different, you got to tell them why you do what you do. That's what purpose-driven prospecting is all about, y'all. It's helping you share something in the very beginning of a conversation. Way more meaningful, and it helps you connect on an emotional level. We've talked about this 100 times. This is relationship marketing. It's all about creating the ability and caring about people. It's not about selling a product. People will buy what you do long before they buy. People will buy why you do what you do long before they buy what you do or how you're different. And they'll buy into you as a person and as a friend first. But we lose sight of that, y'all, and we spend so much time on other things and looking at features and benefits. And that's why we stay stuck and we struggle when it comes to prospecting and we don't know what to say and how to say it. So we're going to move. Here we go. So let's break this down. The first thing that we're hoping to help teach you guys to do is to create an impact goal for your business. So you're going to hear us say, tell me your why, to cry. I mean, there's been multiple ways that it's been said, but really this is the same thing as your impact goal. You're going to share this impact goal with your prospects as part of your why that will help you elevate your game significantly, y'all. So I don't have this really cute little Bob graphic where I can like pop up the bubbles. So we're just going to roll right into it. So creating your impact goal starts with examining the events and situations in your life that led you to start your business. So where does your impact goal come from? Think about your life before Plexus. What areas in your life were lacking? What were you missing prior to getting involved? So we're going to talk about a couple of areas to focus on. And if you've been working through the game plan with Larissa or myself or your upline, some of these are going to look really familiar. And like I said, I can't pop them up one at a time because I don't know about PowerPoint, but we're just going to roll on with it, y'all. Right now, we're just introducing this process. It starts here, doesn't end here. Giving you guys a little bit each week so that it's not so overwhelming to just run out and do a challenge. So tonight we're talking about creating your impact goal and creating your purpose-driven why. So I'm going to argue this. I argue that every single one of you on this training tonight was lacking, or at least unhappy, dissatisfied, you choose the word, in at least one of these 5 areas: time, money, security, health, or purpose. So think about your life prior to Plexus. What was missing? There was something missing that caused you to start your Plexus business outside of just taking the products. And it also continued to grow into a business, and you've chosen to share that with people. So maybe it's time. For me, maybe you made good money, had a great paycheck, but you had no free time. Maybe you needed money or had a lack of security because of your job, or maybe it was your health and you had a personal products. But maybe you're like me and you just lacked purpose and you didn't even know it. I had a great job. It was pretty flexible, at least the new one, maybe not the last one. I made a great paycheck. I was very healthy. I had a lot of security, but the purpose, and I didn't even, Carmen, who's on the call tonight, she knows where this comes from. And it really, honestly, y'all, just 2 months ago, really became very crystal clear to me that purpose was something that was missing in my life. So I want you to think about, what is the 1 or 2 things that jump out most at you? Probably a lot of you, like me, there's a little bit of an aspect of all of these, but there's always 1 or 2 that kind of jump out. So those are the ones we want you to focus on for creating your impact goal and sharing your why. So typically I would stop and have you guys take a couple minutes to jot this down and break it down a little bit. But since that's going to be the first part of your homework, y'all just hold off on that and let me finish this, and then I'll give you your homework. So now we're going to talk about how to write your story. So maybe you've identified a couple reasons of what was lacking, what was missing. And like I said, for mine, it was really purpose. So let's flesh it out a little bit. And let's look at, when you're talking about your why and you're writing your story, the first thing on here, the more specific the memories are, the better for this process. So I personally would recommend you sit down with a piece of paper, a Microsoft Word document, a sticky note, whatever it is, and just literally empty your mind on paper. Start brainstorming around the areas that you identified that drove you to continue. And here's the power of the process. The power of the process is in the details. Are there specific memories that you can tap into or recall that led you to your why? But more than just the memories in general that you can recall, you want to tap into the feelings and the lessons that you learned in these experiences. So your ability to start putting words to some of the emotions and feelings that you had, that's what's really going to help you connect with people. The details, the lessons learned, all of those things. So think about number 3 and ask yourself, what are the key experiences and people in your life that have really shaped who you are today? A lot of times, these are very specific things or events. You may have to tap into them. You may have to dig a little bit. But these are what leads us to pursuing the business, or really just helping us realize that there's more out there that we deserved or we wanted. And what were those major challenges and struggles that you had to overcome? A lot of times the struggle and the challenge is really what wakes us up to the fact that we need something else. But be really careful, guys, when you're thinking about this and you're really digging down, be careful recounting those challenges. I'm totally not going to lose my voice, y'all. Those challenges and struggles, because maybe you haven't overcome them yet. Maybe you're still in the process. I know I am. It's a day process for me. Maybe you're still overcoming those things, and we want you to include those in your story and in your why, because it is part of your why and it is part of your impact goal. But we have to make sure in the process of digging all that out that we're focusing on the positive. We're focusing on not what happened or the events specifically, but just acknowledging and kind of owning what happened instead of focusing on the lesson that we learned or the person we had to become or the person we're becoming in the process. You always want to focus on the positive and what you had to get through. That really makes it a lot easier to connect with people. And when you're going through this process, remember, it's not so much about you. It's about your potential and your ability to make it relevant and relate to the person you're talking to. More than anything, y'all, write it down. Take some time, go through the details, go through the emotions, spend 30, 45 minutes really, really thinking this through. Ask yourself, y'all, what happened? And it's going to be hard for some of us because some of us may not even realize some of the deeper things that are down there, but ask yourself, what happened? Take it to a level deeper than surface. It'll be a lot more powerful because you're tapping into those emotions and feelings. And like we talked about a little bit earlier, we're emotional beings, we're not logical beings. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to warn you right now, there are several people on this call right now that will think, I have not had any groundbreaking moments. I did not have an earth-shattering testimony. I don't have all of these experiences to pull from. I can't do this. And let me tell you right here, and I'm claiming this in the name of Jesus, every single one of you has a why. Every one of you. And every one of you has something that's the source of your passion and your enthusiasm. And sometimes we just live it out unconsciously. We don't even know how to put it into words. But you have to be able to connect this and make that connection as to what's going on. But more importantly, when you're thinking back to these experiences that we've had and things that have happened to us, that kind of form the basis of doing all of this, remember, y'all, it doesn't matter the severity of what the experience is or lack of severity. What matters is the depth of emotions. Some of you, it may just be as simple as one day you went to work and your boss said, I'm sorry, you can't take that PTO time. You can't go on vacation. You can't have sick time. You can't go to your kids' play at school. You can't miss work you name it, fill in the blank, y'all. That was the event where you said, enough is enough. I'm done. I'm going to stop living myself on other people's terms. And that simple life event literally altered the course of the rest of your life. So it doesn't have to be about the severity of the experience. You don't have to have this like groundbreaking experience to tap into that. It's about what it meant to you, how it made you feel, and helped you become who you are today and led you down the path that you're on. So creating your impact goal. That's y'all's first assignment, by the way, in case you haven't figured that out now. Let's look at a little bit of a framework that we can follow when you guys are working on this. This is one of the things that we're going to spend a lot of time dissecting over the next 30, 60 days to kind of help you come up with something that works well. So when you're writing out your story, I want you to be thinking about this framework and asking yourself these questions. So here's the first one. What is lacking in your life before you joined Plexus? And I put your business, I'm going to go back and change that to Plexus. So for example, I had a background in medical corporate. I'm a therapist by trade, but I've been in management operations corporate for a long time. And what was missing for me, and I told you guys this earlier, I really just didn't have a sense of purpose with my job. I wasn't excited when I woke up every day. I found myself working harder and harder and more hours and less time with my kids for less and less money every year. Many of you guys are in healthcare, you know what's happening in our industry. So for me, mine was really purpose. To some extent money, but mostly purpose. But you want to think about, for you, what was lacking in your life before you joined Plexus. And focus on one or two areas, not more. You don't want to have an answer for all 5 of the ones we talked about earlier. And the second thing is, can you give specific examples that were turning points for you? Specific examples that you can share. So here's the thing, and if you can share a story as part of your why, that's one of the things people will connect with. And don't get caught up in this, y'all. If you can't think of one specific example, you could really simply say something like, I really just reached a point where enough was enough. I knew I deserved more than what I was having. If you do have an experience, though, guys, use that and think about how that made you feel. My boss told me I couldn't go on X, Y, and Z vacation, and literally that was the breaking point for me. And here's how I feel. And it made me feel like I didn't have control over my own life. It made me feel powerless. It made me feel like I knew there was something way bigger out there, and there had to be a better way for me to take control back of my life. So injecting your feelings is what's going to make it powerful. So if you look at the first 3, you're really talking about your life prior to Plexus. If your why or your story is revolved around like a health transformation, which so many of ours are with Plexus, then the transition point for you may have been a product. And so now you're getting into talking about what happened to you since you've been with Plexus. So we're trying to connect the dots with the things that you've already shared about what was lacking or missing to how do you feel now. And think about this, y'all. What you're trying to connect is how Plexus either provided a solution, solved a problem, or is in the process of helping you solve a problem. So that's the thing about your why, or your why that makes you cry, depending on who you've talked to. You don't really have this like crazy, insane success story already to be able to share with people. You can seriously simply just say, for the first time in my life, I have something that can help me with these things. And it's not about what you've done, it's about the solution and what you're trying to offer to your friends and family and other people around you. So let me give you an example. It may sound a little bit like this, and of course you guys have to put your own spin on this, but so I reached a point where enough is enough. And I started looking, and I knew there had to be something better out there for me. I was introduced to Plexus, and it has literally given me my life back, and here's how. So notice, here's what I'm about to do. I'm about to touch on my purpose. For some of you, it's money. Some of it's time. Some of it's freedom. All the things we talked about earlier. And to continue that statement, It's literally, I wake up every day now excited about what I do. I have got the purpose and meaning in my life now. I know that I go out there now and I'm doing something, a difference. And here's the best part. Y'all are going to love this. I finally have the ability to get paid what I'm worth. What? And that someone else is not signing my paycheck anymore. I know that I've always been worth more than that paycheck said. And for the first time ever, I have the ability to write my own check. So you see what we did there, y'all? We connected the dots between what was missing or lacking and how Plexus provided a solution. Or maybe it's a product. But notice what I didn't do, y'all. At no point in this did I ever go into any details or mention the company specifics or products. You have to stay focused on your story because we're not getting into the whole presenting part yet. So the next thing you need to be able to do is to tie it all together. So once you've told me what was lacking, you told me how this business has helped you in certain areas, and how do we tie that to our impact goal? Here's another example. It sounds something like this. Of course, you gotta put your personal spin. So let's say I'm sitting across from Althea, and I say to her, this is my story, but I tell you, here's my mission today. My mission today, and of course, guys, this has to be sincere, and it has to come from your heart. So obviously your wording is not going to sound like mine, but my mission today is to find people that were just like me a year ago, that were stuck in dead-end jobs or careers that leave them no excitement for life, and they know that they deserve more, and they're not being paid what they're worth, and they really want to find a vehicle to help them get paid what they're worth and what they know they deserve. And for me, it just so happened that Plexus was my answer. That's how you enter into a purpose-driven prospecting conversation. Look, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I want every single one of you to nail this thing, y'all. Nail it. And we're going to help you do it. But it's going to take practice. It's not easy. Y'all know this. It's going to take actual work for you to get this down. But I'm telling you, when you start with this, people will look at what you have to share on such a different level, y'all. It's really important, excuse me, that you guys understand that. And here's the beauty of it. Y'all are going to be shocked. It should take no longer than 90 seconds to share all of that with your potential. Now, that's not going to come easily. You're going to have to practice it, but you got to be careful about something. Don't spend countless weeknights and hours and lunch hours thinking about this. Spend 30, 45 minutes, jot some notes down, come up with a good general flow, and start putting it to work. You can practice it all you want, but honestly, y'all, you're not going to truly master this until you start applying it. So spend 30 minutes. That's all I'm asking. That's your homework for this week. And start using it. Put it out there, because the more you use it, the more refined it becomes, and the better you'll get, and the more confident you'll get, and the more comfortable you'll be. And the more comfortable you'll be, you won't drag your feet on actually talking to people. I think I just said this, but I skipped a slide. Don't wait too long to start putting it to work. You will refine it and make it better once you actually start sharing with people. So I'm going to stop here because we're already at 40 minutes and there's a whole nother, 3 sections of this process. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to give you guys your homework for next week. Between now and Monday, hold on, let me stop sharing so y'all can see my face. Maybe. I don't know if you can see that. I don't even see my face on here anymore. I don't know where I'm at. Anyway, so your assignment is to spend some time between now and next Monday night's training, and you need to send a private message to me and Larissa, and I want you to voice record. I don't want you to type it out. You can do it text message if you have both of our numbers, however you want to do it. I want you to voice record. Larissa, I don't know if you can see me, but if you can write down everybody that's on the training tonight, that'd be awesome, because I can't see them right now for some reason. I want you to be thinking about your impact goal, your why, and using the framework that we talked about tonight. I want you guys to voice message Larissa and I your impact goal. Who's ready? Who's ready for the challenge? I can't see or hear any of you guys. I can't even tell if y'all can see me at this point. Thank you, Althea. Usually I can see myself. That's really weird. I don't know.
I'm right here.
I'm ready.
Yay, Shannon! So I'm not going to go into this 3-step process. We're going to go into that next week on what that looks like. I will give you just a super sneak peek if I can find it really quickly. On the 3-step process, we're going to talk next week about leading with your why, how to share your why with prospects, how to share third-party tools, and what to do once you have responses from your third-party tools. So that's kind of the next step for next week. So you guys have an assignment to work on those impact goals, and I am done sharing, so you guys can ask questions, you can chat, you can hop off if you need to hop off, give me feedback, let me know if you need help, whatever you got, guys. I am going to go ahead and just stop the recording so that way if anybody wants to talk,